Comments on. Let's do the thing. And all right. There we are, warriors.
You know what I like about YouTube is they can comment before we even jump on live. That's interesting.
I like it too. I also like that
Yeah.
I can control the brightness and darkness of it all. There we
Yeah.
go. All right, Bay, you ready?
I'm ready.
We ready? Welcome
Ready.
back,
Yeah.
Warriors, to Warrior Wednesday. So we're going to have people jumping on. We got our TikTok. We got YouTube Live. What we have been noticing too is people on YouTube Live, you guys are going to be getting the better audio. So I know that you guys who rock our TikTok, which we do appreciate, if you want the better quality, where do we have all the lights and the microphones hook up to? Go to our YouTube channel. It's going to be on the Warriors Way Mindset YouTube channel. So subscribe there. Also, that's where we put our full episodes of podcasts and speeches and trainings, and our stuff is all on YouTube. So we do want people to be in both of them. That makes sense, right? We want to be in touch with you guys. And that's where when we send the clips from the podcasts, go to YouTube, watch the whole thing. That's where we're at. So in which case, check it out. I see a bunch of warriors lining up in the YouTube area. I don't know if you guys can hit one like or hammer like. I don't know how that works on YouTube, but in any case, all the good stuff is there. What do we do here? We go to QA at warriorswaymindset.com. You can put your questions into the email, and we are able to help answer your questions in real time. We will get through some of these, and we will have some of these. So, is it Francisco? You said, I need help. Let us know what you need help with. We'll get to some of those things. Also, I see some people in here. If this is not a political channel, we do psychology, we do deep work, and we help people work through their battles in their mind. So when it comes to politics, this isn't a political station. That's not what
Rich,
it is.
don't even vote. Just kidding.
You're gonna make it a political conversation. All right. So in which case, bring up some stuff that, like, I'm working on my stuff. It doesn't matter whether you're what race you are, what your sexual preference is, what you vote. I don't give a shit. We're all humans working on stuff up here. So bring your shit and we got your back. Otherwise, my bay. Oh, if you guys want to watch the repeats of this and get into like, where do you store all these things? Our Patreon for this is super inexpensive, and we put exclusive content, and we have been doing a monthly training that's real deep work stuff. And if you want access to that without paying the ticket for it, our Patreon people get in for free. It's already taken care of. So jump on in. Let's do the damn thing. And baby,
we got a lot of questions this week. It was a hot week, and it could have been too because you hosted a training last week as well on the MAP training. So, but we have a lot of questions. So I just picked 4.
Okay.
And otherwise we'd be here all night. So here's the first one. As a newly single man, any advice for getting back into the dating world? I do not want to go online. Any recommendations?
Yeah, we've had a lot of our guys walk in this, and guys and girls, you guys can attest to this. The dating world's a mess right now. It's really messy. And this is not even just me being subjective. I've had a guy after guy, girl after girl going, what a mess dating is right now. If those of you who think you're just going to jump in and just start winning the game, not likely. The pool has changed. The rules have changed dramatically. What I do with my men, with the Warriors Way guys, is we take them off of the dating sites. And so if you're looking for a good dude, a good trained warrior, a guy who has your back and his dignity, honor, loyalty, good guys, good men, my guys will not be on dating sites likely. Most likely, you're going to find them doing something they love to do. So you also do something you love to do. So when I talk to my guys, find things you like. I don't care if it's hiking. I don't care if it's wine and painting class. I don't care if it's spin class. I don't care if it's yoga, hot yoga. I don't give a shit. Find something you like, just whatever you like. I don't care. Go join a bowling league, or, I don't know, go dancing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go to a cooking class. Do things you love to do. Just find you and find stuff you like, and you'll find like-minded people who are also in the world of like, we don't fuck with the dating sites. I've been burned too many times. I don't want to play these games anymore. I'm done with the bullshit. I don't want to burn and churn people. I don't want to be another notch for somebody who's just racking up, or someone who just wants a free meal off of me. I'm trying to find somebody who has matching qualities for loyalty, honor, respect, dignity, will be there for me in sickness and health. I'm looking for a good one. Well, they're most likely not going to be on the burn and churn Tinder sites or swiping or whatever that would
Yeah.
be. So find something authentic you love, and you'll find people who are authentic that love the same things. That's where we start with this. So what recommendations? Start with doing things you like. Second thing, don't bring your past insecurities and damage to your new relationship, expecting them to solve it or be the cure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it again. Do not bring your past shit into your new relationship, expecting them to cure you. They're supposed to be the cure or the fix for your old wounds. Doesn't work that way. If you start a relationship based on damage, well, then what happens when you no longer have the damage, but they were attracted to you because you were damaged? You started with an unhealthy mindset. So if you're going to start with trying to give your heart to somebody, at least give them a full one and not just a box of broken shards and say, here you go, fix this. Here you go, fix these broken pieces. And they're like, well, I guess my job in this relationship is fixing all these pieces. Well, who are you guys when it works? Because now they have no more purpose in the relationship because they were your caretaker and now you're healthy again. So now what's your relationship? My advice, give people a working fixed heart before you start dating them. Don't give them broken pieces and expect them to be the cure for somebody else's damage. So don't do that. No problem, Zan. Just listen in, bro. You're good. In which case, that's my two recommendations. Find stuff you like, and you'll find people who like the same things you like. And then don't give somebody a wounded, broken heart expecting them to fix it. Don't bring your insecurities into a new relationship and then hold it over their head. Just work on your stuff. Be whole before you try and make something where like you both are something that complements each other. I think the relationship advice that we gave was the point of a relationship is that it is better together than it is
Yep.
if you're not. If for whatever reason, not being with somebody is just way better than being with somebody, that's a pretty telling like measurement for your dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse being together than if we weren't together at all. That's an unhealthy
It's
dynamic.
rough. Yeah.
So I'm not saying like find a new one. I'm saying if you're just not good, period.
Yeah, I also think if there's no effort to want to make it better and people are just complacent on like this relationship isn't great, but we also are not going to really do anything about it. I think that's also something that has to be taken into consideration as well, because some people are just okay just being okay, and that's okay. It just may not be good for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
All right. So this one is, I just went through a pretty brutal divorce and trying to learn how to navigate this new routine and schedule with my kids. Any advice on how to heal from the heartbreak? If it helps, I helped her with everything, working, got her through nursing school, and then she left me.
Mhm.
I am now struggling with being able to not only trust myself, but trust others.
It makes sense. Ladies, I hope that you ladies are listening to this. You preach that hypergamy is not a thing. This guy, he says, I sacrificed and gave everything for her to be lifted up with the understanding that with equality, they will be just as men and women when they have power and money and opportunity. They will make sure that they give to their man just as a man gives to their women. It's going to be better and it's the same because they're more compassionate, they're more empathetic, they're more nurturing, they're more caring. And so if you give a woman more money, that man will be taken care of. Turns out, guy after guy who does this, those ladies just leave for what is presumed a higher value man because now you have fallen under subordinate and or what is the term for like taking care of children or something? What is the term?
Caretaker?
No, that's a
Oh.
caretaker. What is like not subordinate? That's not the idea. It's
Dependent?
dependent. Yeah, you
Mhm.
became a dependent.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're a dependent now. And it's like, no. I'm the encouragement. I'm the support. I'm the lift you up. I'm the nurture. I'm the you got it, babe. I'm the cheerleader. Well, when girls get the cheerleader, That guy ends up getting left 9 times out of 10. Is there 1 out of 10 that you can do? Yes, there's some that can make it work. But 9 out of 10, these guys are calling like, I opened up and was vulnerable. I gave her everything. I lifted her up. I took care of the house and the kids while she got her degree. She's now an attorney, or she's now the head nurse, or she's now the thing that she worked her ass off. And I'm proud of her. I'm glad she did. And as soon as she had her status, her power, her paycheck, she left me or stopped sleeping with me, or we're in separate bedrooms now, not because it's super cool, but because she's not attracted to me
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's so confusing to me because I don't understand the mindset of someone is if someone is helping you and the only reason you would be there is because they were helping you, but then you turn your back on them as soon as you get to the place that you were working for. Like that doesn't make why do you think that happens? Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
It does if there is hypergamy in the dynamic. I think hypergamy in today's day and age has been corrupted. I think women are under attack from the societal systems, from social media, to try to corrupt a system that was designed to choose the highest potential mate that would match you to have a healthy family, healthy children, healthy life, has now been corrupted into material things like 6 foot tall or higher, makes more than six figures, six-pack abs. It's become superficial when it used to be character traits or strengths or things about this guy that would bring safety, security, provisions, presiding. He's got good leadership traits. He's a good man. He puts family first and takes care of his own. He's a good pack leader. He's loyal, supportive, kind, generous. The list can go on of what is a good man. And they're like, no, he's not 6 feet tall, so fuck him. And you're like, wait a second. You corrupted a system that is designed for healthy families and turned it into a superficial qualification.
Mhm. So where does it go after that?
Uh, and the way that this goes, women will lose.
Mhm.
Guys are there's going to be a big chunk of guys that also lose pretty bad, but it's going to be the lower echelon guys
Mhm.
who just end up becoming like uh, alone or isolated or just in like their own little tribal groups, and not to downplay any of my gamer types, but they'll just be high level D&D characters, or they'll be World of Warcraft guild masters. They'll find their own tribe out there. They'll find something to do that like brings fun and fulfillment. And there's superficial ways for intimacy that are going to start becoming more popular for those guys, and it'll just leave no need for the women's nonsense. And so these women will end up becoming proud cat owners. They will knock themselves out of the dating field. They
Mhm.
won't be desirable by anybody. The top guys won't choose them, and the bottom guys won't even want to play. And so it will make it so this group of women are really going to suffer because they've really corrupted their love system to be superficial.
Mhm.
And any guys who fall into that, they'll just also be falling into a superficial system. It's going to take a big chunk of people out, and the family dynamic is going to really suffer. There'll be small groups that do end up keeping up with some traditional values that do make it so that honor, respect, loyalty, cherish, be there in sickness and health, the true commitment element, not the governmental marriage element, but the true actual element of love, compassion, commitment will come through in certain groups. But
Mhm.
this behavior will take a large chunk of society out. It's gonna cost a lot of lives on this one. A lot of loneliness, a lot of hurt. They'll most likely a big increase in suicides because of lack of compassion, intimacy, connection. It's going to be a lonely life. It's going to be sad. If this keeps going that direction, it's not going to look good.
It's so sad because then where do you go to the next relationship? And now if you are dealing with this as like I'm just outgrowing everybody, like you never find I guess contentment with anybody. Like I have a hard time understanding that whole scenario. And I know it happens a lot. It's difficult to understand.
No, agreed. Well, this is why if you have to look at it with an objective perspective without any subjectivity, which people usually think in judgments, it's going to be really difficult to process.
Mhm.
If you can remove judgments and just go, where does this road go? It's very different. And so this is where I just look at the behaviors and I match the patterns. I'm like, this crashes into the lake, or this is gonna hit a wall. And so that's a sad thing to watch. I think if you want my honest opinion, all social media aside, I think there are benefits to social media. It's a tool or it's a weapon, depending on how you use it. And so people who are on here and people who follow our stuff are like, I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. I want to improve. I want to get better. I want to learn more. I want to find myself. I want to develop authenticity, accountability, empathy. I want to be a better leader. I want to be a better partner.
Hmm.
I want to be better me, better husband or wife. I want to be a better mother or father. I want to improve. And so, what am I missing from my tools so I'm more equipped? This can be a tool. And so, those of us who follow our dynamics of people who follow us,
Hmm.
I have conversation after conversation if I'm trying to get better. I want to improve. I have willingness to grow. I will evolve into the better me. I
Yeah.
just need to know what piece I'm missing so I can do the next step. For you, I praise you.
Yeah.
You're on a small percentage path of people. Most will not. Most are out there just following the trends.
Yeah.
Most are going to fall for the social media pushes. Most are going to fall in for the part that has been weaponized and not a tool. And all of these things are trained or untrained. Is it a tool or is it a weapon? Depends on how you use it. Hammer, tool, or weapon. Well, you can build great things or you can do demolition. Knife, you can open packages, you can do things, work with animals, you can do things that, like, for food, for whatever it would be,
Hmm.
tool. Or you can kill or stab or hurt or cut. You can do harm. Your hands, tool or weapon. I can use this to rub your back or I can use this to do damage. Like, it's a tool or a weapon is depending on how you use it.
Hmm.
What about your phone? Tool or a weapon? Depends on how you use it. Your
Yeah.
mind, tool
Yep.
or a weapon, depends on how you use it. And so here we are now taking things that I believe that are supposed to be healthy, especially for women, and they're being turned upside down. And social media is taking a really heavy hit on our ladies.
For
And
sure.
and I believe it takes advantage of a core needs for women
Yeah.
like belonging, acceptance, approval. It
Yeah.
takes a village mentality. I think it takes those things and it's corrupted things to be selfish and more
It's
narcissistic
a
than ever.
100%.
And it's a sad thing to watch because I think that the
And
good nature of women doesn't match
and
what's happening to the system.
I agree, and it's almost and I think you just said it perfectly, so I don't really have to recap it, but it's that me mentality, but it's also other women almost finding pride in, like, let's be proud that we have this mentality, and that's also something that it is hard to understand because if someone else treated them like that, they probably wouldn't agree with it. So it's such a confusing
It's
time.
a really interesting time. Yeah, the concept of finding balance in this day and age is going to be very difficult. This generation is going to be, if we cannot corrupt the history books, this will be a generation to look back, and I think this will be a big time for during that pendulum swing for balance and understanding between each other. There's a lot of what not to do happening right now that they'll
Yeah,
be using in the future. There'll be big groups of the generation that they go, wow, that did not work at all. Let's never do that again.
yeah,
Especially the concept of power and equality. They're going to be like, we fucked that all up.
mhm,
Information being corrupted. It's going to be interesting times in the future,
yeah.
pending, how the singularity goes.
Yeah, that's good. On YouTube, let's go to Jenna's comment. She said, "When women work alongside their man, they can't help but kind of compete. So they level up. So as they level up, they almost look down on him for not keeping up." She said,
It's
"Not all women, but it happens."
it is again 9 out of 10, Jenna. I talk to the guys who do it. The guys who do the thing. They're like, I am going to build my woman up. I will follow the narrative. I will do the thing. And you're not wrong. I've also, when I worked with my women's group, I ask them, are these things there? And they're like, it is there. It is. There's a thing there. I also did a training on Prince Charming where I had ladies make this ridiculously long list of what a good guy is. And it was really absurd. And at the end, I was like, okay, super wealthy, high driven, loves kids, good family. Like this huge, it was a really long list, like 70 something things on the list. And I was like, all right, ladies, let's see if you're truly looking at the value of the person. So I said, ladies, and you guys can be honest in the chat here. I'm like, I'm going to give you a guy who has all of the things. everything: money, power, fame, humility, kindness, good teeth. He's happy, smiles, great cook, best dancer. Like, you name it, make a list. It doesn't matter what's on it. This guy is that. Does that sound cool, ladies? Are you in? And the ladies are like, well, actually, I really like that a lot. This sounds good. No question whether you're qualified to bring any value to a man's life who is that, but they love it. They're like, this sounds good. I'm like, the only thing is he's 5'3". Hmm. That one thing, the way the man was born, he was high level in every category. Everything that he had was high level: money, compassion, kindness, empathy, loves your kids, does everything right. He's a fucking ninja, huge ding dong, you name it. This guy's the guy. He's just 5'3". And a majority of the group was like, I'm out. And I'm like, I just gave you a
Mm-hmm.
perfect guy. And you would still, because of the way he was born, something he cannot control, something that is not in his power, because he's not a big fan of it either. And you would throw him in the garbage, even though he is perfect on paper, except he isn't tall enough. So you would sacrifice a massive amount of great traits in a man. So because he's a little taller. You'll take a more abusive, a more neglectful, a guy
Mm-hmm.
who's not as loyal or isn't as kind, and he's got more options, and he does kind of some bullshit things, and he doesn't treat you with that much compassion. He's not very skilled, and he doesn't have any dreams. You'll take all of that over just because, like, what, 6 inches of height? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
throw it all away because he's not tall enough?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not getting it.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't.
you're taller than me. Like, that would be
Mm-hmm.
silly for me to go like, yeah, but all of your good traits, fuck those. You're too tall. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I don't really get that. I don't really see it, but for some reason, that was a consensus for half the ladies. The other half was like, no, I'll take the fucking Prince Charming, please. I'll take the guy who's really good man. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
But to even have a 50-50 swing on something it's not even a controllable was wild to me.
And again, going back to the golden rule, women also don't want to be judged that way, right? We don't want to be judged on the way that we look. We say all the right things,
Well,
but
you do when it's good.
well, that's what I'm saying. But when
Mhm.
it's bad, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want anyone to say
It's
anything,
not fair.
Mm-mm.
It's only fair if it's good, but it's not fair if it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So silly. It's so silly.
Later, Dan.
Yeah. Christy said, I'm 5'7". I haven't dated anyone over 5'8". Just be nice to me, please. She's like, I'll just settle for a guy being nice to me. I get it. Karina says, but sadly, a lot of men are like that too. They overlook a lot of good women because of their weight.
It depends on what you're looking for. Now, this is where it's one of those things where, like, I've got a lot of guys in my group, and we brought up the weight thing. We brought it up. Like, a lot of the weight issue things and a lot of the looks things is more women to women than it is guys to women. I know that ladies want to blame the men for it, but I asked my guys. We had over 100 guys in one group setting that we were doing. We were just putting a survey out for the boys, and I was like, how many of you, like, if they're not a size 0, they're out. Like, they got to have a certain pant size or you're gone. And none of the guys, they're like, we don't care about that. That's not us. Phil, you were there. Phil was in, like we were there going like, do any of you guys go like, she has to have a certain pant size or a certain look or she's got to go? And like, none of the guys cared. They're like, that's not us. And I'm like, how many of you guys look like skinny girls? And they're like, yeah, that's me. I'm like, how many of you guys like thick girls or bigger girls? And like, that's me. I like those ones. Looks like there's someone for everyone.
That's true.
Everybody's got a
Yeah.
thing they like. Some people like the small ones. Some people like the tall ones. Some people like the short ones. Someone like the thick ones. Someone like the really overweight ones. They're like, I don't know why, but I fucking love it. I'm like, love what you love, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Love what you love. And so it may not be one of those things where ladies are looking for like the lot of men who don't like the big girls. Well, I mean, there's also a big group of dudes who do. Like, there's guys who are like, I'm down with the thickness.
Mm-hmm.
And so just saying, listen, baby, I'm down with the thickness. I know those thighs.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
there's something
It
for everybody. Find the thing that you like. And so, in this case, Karina, if you're like, all the guys should think I'm sexy, you're out of your fucking mind, because that doesn't work both ways. That's a bananas thing to even think.
no, but
But there are people who love that.
there is someone out there for everybody. It's not, 100%.
It's
Yeah.
nutty. So just find the ones who are attracted to the thing that you are.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like it's really not more complicated than that. And if you think other people should think the way that you think, that's just not the one that's your
Yeah.
match. What are you doing? Like that doesn't make sense. And guys have never had the luxury of that type of thinking. It seems ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
She should think how I think she should think and like me the way that I think, that she like me for me. Like that doesn't happen. We're liked
Yeah.
for what we provide, not for what we
Yeah.
are. We're human doings, not human beings.
Yeah. Angel asked a question. Could it be that women go with trends instead of their own true choice? Yes.
The answer is yes.
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 Yes. 100% yes. I work in the beauty world. It is only about trends and fashion and makeup and all of the above. And I see it often. And here's the thing too, it's getting younger and younger. Like before teens, that these girls are going after trends because of social media.
Yep.
It is a scary, scary thing to see it, coming in, they found something on social media. Everybody has it, so I have to have it.
Yep.
And for the boys too.
It's getting more that way because they're pushing boys to being more emotionally feminine. And so they're also starting to fall for the marketing strategies that are geared towards that emotional connection thing. And I'm not saying that is right or wrong, but they learned like in the 60s, almost all ads, social media, advertising, targeting is all made for women.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to,
100%.
look it up. You think I'm bullshit? Look at the psychology behind ad work. Almost all of it is geared towards women, because women will be most likely to make the decisions in that area. Even when they do a restaurant or a bar, they gear it towards making sure that women love the place, because where women go, guys go.
Mm-hmm.
And so guys will go into a place that's all pink if there's a bunch of hot chicks there. Like they don't care. And so they'll gear the places towards, do women like the establishment, or are women enjoying the product? Because where women go, guys go. And so it's one of those things where, yes, there's an approval element, there's a fitting in element, there's a belonging element. And this is one of the things I say that are getting corrupted for women, because authenticity goes out the window to belong.
Yeah.
It's important to listen. Authenticity is often the sacrifice for belonging. You cannot be you and fit in with the crowd. Well, you didn't get that luxury thing. You don't have those shoes. You're not matching right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Christian. It is a conformity dilemma,
Yep.
but the value of your authenticity is more than the price that you're getting for conformity, because you have to be something fake to belong.
Ugh.
Well, how long can you live your life as something else? How many years are you going to sacrifice being something inauthentic?
Yeah.
And the worst thing, and I said this 100 times, the worst thing that happens when you are fake around others to
Yep.
be approved of is
It works.
when it works.
It's exhausting.
Because now you have to be the fake thing to get love, get approval, get acceptance, belong, and be a part of it. And how many times do you have to compromise your authenticity in order to keep your spot in the pack? And most likely, you matriarchs, you pack leaders for the women, are also highly inauthentic, because when I talk to you, you're like, I can't keep up with my own bullshit anymore. I have to try and keep myself at level 100 to make sure that the appearance and the approval and the status of me feeling confident and boss babe, it's so inauthentic to the loving, nurturing heart that I have. I can't even keep up, and they're starting to get cracks in the makeup. They're starting to get cracks in the foundation of my character. And I'm like, that's a really heavy thing to carry around. But what is the value that you're sacrificing for your authenticity in order to have the conformity, the
Yeah.
approval of people who love you for not
Yep.
being you.
Mm-mm. Yep.
That's your real talk right there. And so this is going to be a really heavy thing because do women fall for the ads and the outside things? A lot more than men. It's built that way on purpose. This is why social media is such a heavy attack on women.
Mm-hmm.
It is destroying you because you saw a TikTok video that says, "Did you know that women who live on
And
their own are smarter?" You know, some stupid video that just makes a
yeah.
thing up. "Did you know if your favorite color is green, you're brilliant?" You're like, "Oh, I guess I better change my
Yeah.
favorite color."
It's also so disposable too. If you think about trends change every season. That's what they're made to do. It starts from the, especially in the fashion world. That's why they have Fashion Week, right? So fashions come out, they change seasonally. With fashions comes shoes, dresses, clothes, makeup, hair color, hair products, all of that shit. It changes seasonally. And so what is happening is that people get hooked on these trends just to have it change again. And now it messes people up because they're like, oh, wait, I thought I liked those shoes. Oh, wait, now we're wearing a different shoe. Like it is a disaster.
Well, it's based on judgment
It
because you'll
is.
go into that
And
group and they'll go, "Oh, you're
it's,
wearing those still?"
yeah, I wouldn't hang out with those people.
But that's the thing to go, "Oh, are these not the shoes that are in?" And you have the
Yeah.
belonging or the agreeableness
Yeah.
that's built into most ladies
Yeah.
that will go, "Oh, what's the new one?" They're like, "The new ones are the red ones." And they're like, "Oh, I'll get the red ones then."
I never fell into that. I don't know if it's maybe the way that I grew up, but we didn't have the luxury of like having the newest thing. And so I never really got into that. I think I fell into like certain makeup trends because that's the world I work in. So I'll look at that, but I don't change my entire look just to be in trend. So it's interesting to see that, and like I said, it's happening at a very younger age now than it's ever been before, which is terrifying because we're starting from a younger age and having girls and boys, it's happening with boys too, not even really knowing who they are at this point and then changing already for what society believes that you should have. And if you don't have the best of the best, then what are you?
Mhm.
And it's sad. The Stanley Cup, yeah.
I don't know what the
Danny.
Stanley Cup thing is. What is she Danielle, what are you talking about? What does it mean?
One of our girls has one.
What
Guess
is it?
which one?
The middle one?
No.
The youngest?
No. Think about it.
I don't know what it is.
It's a cup. It's a big cup, and it has a handle on it.
I don't baby, listen to my actual thing. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I'll show you later. Anyway,
Okay,
it's a
so,
cup that
like
you drink out of.
So you're like, "It's a cup that doesn't." I'm like,
Well,
"I know of the hockey one."
the
I don't
reas
know what you're talking about.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's
Like,
probably
you're
what
talking to me like, "Duh."
the
And
middle
I'm like,
like the Stanley Cup. You don't know what that is?
"I know
Yeah.
what that one is. I know what, like,
I'm at the
hockey
point
one.
where because everybody has it, I refuse to get it. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, nope, everyone wants it. I do not want that.
I really don't know what it is. You're gonna have to show me.
I'll show you.
I
Caitlin
don't
has
even know
it.
what you're
Yeah.
talking. Is it a hydro flask? The hydro flask. So heck, I still have mine. I still have mine. I even have the stickers put on from podcasts that
Yeah.
I've been on.
It's like every other drink that comes out every year where there's some new thermos, which is still what I call it. It's a thermos that keeps your whatever you have in there cold or hot. It's no different than a Yeti. It's just something with a different name. This one has a handle. That's all it is. It doesn't.
That's just good
honestly.
That's just good marketing. If
Yeah.
people are buying it, That's just good sales. But as far as like, you're not wrong with trends
The
change all
tumbler,
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
The trends change.
Yeah. You can't keep up.
So that's where like the authenticity element of what it is. So sure, like there's stuff that's there. What I'm saying is buying a cup doesn't compromise who you are as a person. But when you have to change your style to fit in and you have to be something you're not, like that's when you start going like, well, who are you? You know, who are you at that point? And if at some point you have to stop doing what you love to do what other people approve of, that's where the line is. Because what you drink out of is one thing, but who you start becoming, like I have to dress, I don't know, let's just bring it, let's say 90s comes back and grunge is back in. Then I gotta start dressing grunge again. I'm like, oh man, I guess I better start dressing grunge. Like I have to go back to my old outfits and get, different
Yeah.
style clothes and get my old flannels, I guess, and get them bigger and wear them different. You're like, okay, I guess grunge is back. you know, which is funny because I'm sure the girls will be wearing that next year and go like, "We made it up." I'll be like, "Did you make up Nirvana too? You want to hear Pearl Jam? You guys make that up? You heard it from TikTok first?"
Yeah.
So silly. We're in such a
Yeah.
funny time right now.
Yeah.
So in this case, the authenticity thing is really where it leans into, and I worry about ladies because yes, the ads are made to fuck with you. It should be a really big thing for like recognizing if you're supposed to be calling the shots, if you're so easily influenced by outside opinions.
Mhm.
Something to write on.
Yeah. Christy, no. She said I stopped watching anime because of judgments. Who cares?
I still watch
Just
that shit. I don't care.
yeah, watch it all you want.
I watch the shit out of it. She doesn't watch it because she doesn't get it, but I like it. Patty, you have a question here. Did she finish it? Patty, did you finish your question? Oh, there you go. You have, what do you think if a man blames you for an incident that happened that you didn't? And then the next thing she says is, when you ask for it to become a serious relationship. I think I'm missing a sentence somewhere. Do you see it, baby?
Mm-mm.
Because I see a guy's blaming for something that happened that you didn't. I'm assuming you didn't do it, but I maybe need like a tad more
Man blames you for an
context.
incident that happened. Oh, that you didn't do. I'm assuming that's what she's saying.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
it would really depend, because if it's something you didn't do and he blames you for what you did, is it one of those like you're guilty until proven innocent
Mhm.
thing? Like, I don't know what the situation
Oh,
is.
so what was it?
Yeah, hard to say. It's really too
Mhm.
open to even give guidance.
Yeah.
When do you ask for it? Let's see. When do you ask for it to become a serious relationship? Um, I'm not gonna say I'm a relationship expert on that, but I think it's kind of one of those like, you two follow your hearts, and do you guys match up, and does this feel right? And I can't say that like after 4.5 months now it has to become serious. Like, you kind of just go like, are we connecting here? Let it flow, let it feel good. Like, are you guys both doing things that we agree with? Is one of you still just just dating around, and you're just one of the dates for 2 years? Like, I mean,
Mm-mm.
you're gonna have to test your values and see what matches up. If you guys match up, it can be as soon as 1 day to, you know, 4 months, 5 months. I don't know. It's your life. Like, you just, as soon as you guys feel like, let's commit to each other and see how it goes, that's how long it takes. So I'm not really gonna tell everybody like, after 3 months, if you know. It's like, you guys can know in 3 hours, like, you know what, I wanna be with you.
Or like, am I wasting my time here?
Now when do you move in with each other and start taking it to serious levels? That's a different thing. But if we're matching, let's be exclusive. Let's, commit to learning and growing and understanding each other and seeing if we match up, and then let's build something amazing if we feel like we're a good match.
Mm-hmm.
That's simplicity is genius, I think, when it comes to this stuff.
This question is, how do I support my wife with undiagnosed borderline personality disorder?
Well, it's undiagnosed, and also it's most likely going to be sadness or anger. And so there's just unresolved grieving systems that are generally there for the people who have borderline personality disorder. I've worked with a lot of people where they just don't know how to grieve properly through their emotions. And so they end up suppressing until they express. And that means they're volcanoes. If they don't know how to deal with their emotions, they don't have proper outlets. There are certain things that most of the time it's beatable. It's very, very rare I meet somebody that it's a chemical disorder. And not to say it doesn't exist, it's just very rare. And I'm talking one and maybe 1,000 is actually what it is. So all you people who are diagnosed, it's usually just a lack of training for how to grieve or how to go through their emotions. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, then you're absolutely going to have the problem. But the people who believe like, oh shoot, I just need to learn how to grieve through my emotions and understand myself better, those people are no longer on medication and they no longer have the explosions. So whatever you believe is right, it'll be right. If you want the training, you guys can book a call. You guys can come be in my groups. You guys can come team up and I can teach you how to beat it. And if you don't give a fuck and want to do your own thing, it's your life. Go get it. Of
Everything's a
course.
choice. I
Of
heard that once.
course. The same thing works for depression. The same thing works for anxiety. The same thing works for PTSD. We have beaten the addiction. We have beaten the shit out of these. I have men from all of these different areas who no longer have those things. And we have women who have also been beating things like anxiety and their PTSD also, even in the most horrible of situations. So yes, those things are there. So I am just saying it is beatable with training, not just you have to be medicated, because people throughout all of history didn't have all the drugs we have in the last 30 years, and they somehow lived for a while. So it is a trainable thing. I have beaten them. And I'd like, if you'd like to have the conversation, book the calls, and I can have the conversation with you.
Link is at the top.
So call me out. You should challenge your gurus. You should challenge me. See if I'm bullshit. You should do that. If any part of you is like, fuck you, dude, please book the call and let's check it out. But also EMS for life. If you're scared to talk to her, this also shows the lack of health in your guys' relationship, because she's not safe to even speak to. And if you're trying to love and save somebody from their own stuff and they're going to just explode on you, you're going to have to do some sort of inventory on the minutes you still have in your life, because you're in a relationship that you can't even be open with each other and somehow going to spend the rest of your life there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really tough place to live. Not telling you what to do, but at least be honest with yourself about your relationship. Just saying. Denial is the main form of protection for both men and women.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll be open to it.
So
it's a disassociation with reality. That's sad.
It's denial.
Yeah.
It means if she's in denial, she's in a grieving system. She hasn't worked out. She doesn't know how to do it yet.
Hello from Morocco.
What's up? Nice.
All right. You want to go to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. I need your wisdom. Started dating. There's a lot of dating ones today.
Yeah, there are.
Started dating a new girl. We've been dating for about 4 months. She has a guy friend that she talks to daily. They have never dated, but he has been interested in her in the past. She says she is not interested, but wants to keep him around. I'm not sure that I agree with this. What is your opinion on this or advice?
Hold your values. If you don't agree with this is how you can know. I've had people do this. Like, it's okay to be friends with your ex, even if you used to sleep with them and be around. That's my best friend. That's my best friend in the world. And I still like to go on dates and I still like to hang out with and still do those things. It's my best friend. I'm like, would your best friend still fuck you again? Of course. But like, I don't do that. You're like, well, I'm gonna go hang out with my exes I used to fuck too. I think this is a great idea. Like, I love. Oh, is that too far?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go hang out with my exes that I used to sleep with also. I'm gonna do the same thing because I love your idea. I'm actually not against it. I think us going and staying with the people we used to sleep with and going out and having dates and quality time with people who we used to have relationships with, I think it's a great idea. I'm going to call up my old exes and hang out with them. You hang out with your ex or the guy who's interested in you. We are on an awesome start.
I wish you would.
Does it feel good?
Nope.
Does the golden rule here still measure up?
Even if you were just talking to them and not going on a date, even if there was a daily nope, not doing it. Not doing it.
Well, that's your values.
Yeah.
So hold your values.
Yes.
And so in this case, hold your values. If you're with somebody who goes against your core values for loyalty or respect or honor or cherishing each other without introducing another element of somebody who wants to be with me, but I just don't feel like it right now. Well, there will be a lonely night where you need a shoulder to cry on. And they're like, it ends up becoming pretty sexual pretty fast. All you have to have is a vulnerable moment and they're just there to scoop you back up. And so it's one of those things where if you were to play out the hypothetical of doing the same thing and it doesn't feel good, you're probably doing something not cool.
Men with women, I'll be honest with you, men that want to be friends with women still, if they have a boyfriend, and vice versa, it's not a healthy dynamic. At some point there's feelings. And so if you find yourself talking to someone consistently all the time, it's not healthy. It's just not. It adds drama to the relationship.
That's where you're at. That's your values.
Absolutely is my values.
That's your values.
Where do you stand?
No, I don't disagree. I'm just saying I'm not telling people what to do. I'm just telling people
I
what
will.
things are.
Just kidding.
Yeah, you have a judgment.
I
I'm just saying
absolutely will.
that's what it is.
That's I stand strong in that. Yeah.
Which is fine. Hold your values. That's
Yeah.
where I am with this guy.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, because if it was the same thing done the other way, she would hate it. Well, then that tells you your answer that, well, she doesn't actually approve of the behavior. She just wants to have her cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And you go ahead and foot the bill for the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't agree with that, don't be with a person who doesn't have the same values as you. Pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. Looks like a lot of people agree. Say no.
Yeah, not their thing. It would just feel bad to be on the receiving end of the behavior. So let's not do it.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it, or is there another one?
There's another one.
Let's go.
Man, I'm lost, or should I say more lonely. I'm 42 years old, have not been able to find a good relationship. These women out here that I have dated don't seem to have values. Speaking of values, this is interesting.
Another one.
I have a good job and I've been a provider in the past. I'm just not sure where I'm going wrong, or even if I am pushing too hard to want to find love. Please help.
So again, I'd have to see, like, where are you fishing, bro? Like, if he's going on dating sites looking for the good one, like, how are you trying to find them? I'd have to look at, like, what are you doing, man?
Mm-hmm.
And if he's really like a high values guy in multiple categories, not just financially, but he's a good dude, like, where are you shopping, man? Like, I'd have to look, because are you really doing stuff that's authentic to yourself? Or are you just trying to go on 20 different dating sites and try and forcing a match?
Yeah.
If that's you, man, you're going to struggle. It's not a good system. So also finding camaraderie within our brotherhood, that's what we've got too, to where there's still a place that you are loved, belonged, cared for, have purpose, until you can find the right person. We've had this both with our women and our men, though. So I'd have a few more questions for this guy to see if you're really looking for love. Is it in all the wrong places? Because that could be what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. I think, was it Pet Paint Pro? Yeah, you were ahead of me on that one.
Mm-hmm. Someone had asked about why is everyone saying basically that everybody's a narcissist lately?
It's just buzzwords to try and make people diagnose and categorize everybody with, instead of actually working on their own stuff. It's very few people who are actually falling into narcissism. Unfortunately, the numbers are skyrocketing on the female side, and that's a sad thing to watch. Again, I think social media is highly responsible for the behaviors becoming far more self-serving on the women's side. And I think guys are trying to reverse a lot of the guilt that's been pushed on them, especially young men, from like men are bad, Me Too phases. There's a lot more nice guys, not necessarily good men, but the nice guy thing has become a lot more common. And it's just the ladies are not treating it kindly. They're not compassionate, not empathetic, and not good to nice guys, which is funny, ladies, because you're like, where's all the nice guys? I'm like, you're beating the fucking hell out of them. You're hurting nice guys because they're not bad boy enough or strong enough. It's like, he's being so sweet to you. Like, who's really the unhealthy one? The one who's being sweet, or the one who hates being treated sweetly? Ladies, there's a lot of opportunity for you to actually show your compassion and love and kindness and be good. And there's a lot of ladies out there who are really just following with the narrative. I'm actually starting a women's group that's going to be just an area for the ladies who are sick and tired of this behavior. Because there's women who are calling who are like, I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends that are girls. Girls are saying that because they can't really trust the behavior of the pack right now. And so I'm going to create a black sheep group for the ladies, just to find loyal friends who don't backstab, who aren't gossiping, who aren't conniving or comparing, who aren't doing things to hurt other women. But a majority of the women out there are still doing the comparison and the hurting of other women. And there's a decent group now forming that's like, we're sick of that shit. We got to quit hurting each other. Cool. And Danielle, I would love to be able to talk to you, because like, you at least have disagreements, but I'd love to hear your opinions, like, because these things don't give you enough to type on. The Passport Bros, is this really, I don't even know one who's ever done it. So I don't know if it's really that common.
I wonder if some of these things that are happening are just what a couple people are talking about, but it's like the algorithms being pushed because I
Maybe.
also have not heard of one person doing it.
Do you guys, other people in this, do you guys actually know people? Like, how many people do you know who are like passport bros? Um, I don't know any, and I have a pretty big network, and I don't know any passport bros. And like, I know thousands of people, so I have a big network of people. I couldn't tell you one. Phil, you got none personally. Jake, it means I think the passport bros is like the mail order bride thing. They go to another country and marry like a like a Filipino girl or a Vietnamese girl or
Yeah.
something. It's something where they go and like get a girl from a different country who's not part of the Western culture stuff, like more traditional old value stuff. As far as what I
I
understand.
guess Angel said they have a Netflix special on it. So of course, that's going to be like, oh yeah, everybody's a narcissist and a passport bro.
Okay. Yeah. So even a lot of people here are like, I don't even know what it
Yeah,
is. And so
mostly a
that's,
Twitter trend.
yeah,
Yeah.
it must be because, like, again, I don't know any, and I know a lot of people, and you're plugged in with a decent number of people. You don't know any.
Mm-mm.
So as much as it may be like, what about passport bros? We're like, what are they? We don't, what is, I don't know. It's not that common.
Yeah.
Now, if it was one of those things where you're seeing like, yeah, 3 out of my 5 buddies are all passport bros, I'd be like, this is a real trend right now. Then I'd be right there with you. But I can't say it's nearly as common. Some of the major patterns for like the big groups more than the fringes.
Yeah.
I'd go with the big groups of what's going on. Again, if some of this stuff doesn't apply to you because you're in that like small group that's done the work and you don't have these behaviors anymore, um,
Yeah.
like this doesn't apply to you because you've outgrown the behavior that the masses have not outgrown. And I
Mhm.
think the idea here is try to give people who are trapped in their own curses and believe that their belief systems that they can treat people in a way they don't like to be treated is somehow able to be justified that they're the good person when they hurt others for pleasure.
Mhm.
It's maybe some of those that I'm trying to shake awake so that maybe your families have a chance to survive.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the self-serving narcissistic behavior that's being pushed on women is becoming the majority, and that's a very scary thing in the psychology world to watch. It's actually really sad that it's working as well as it is. And you're like, that's not me. Cool. You're in the minority that's not affecting. But I guarantee you, if I looked at your friend group, you can go, oh, yeah, that's so and so, that's so and so, that's so and so. And it's probably you probably know more women who are falling for I'm the center of the universe than you do passport bros.
Mhm. And Tate Civil says the women were looking for providers who also had kind hearts. The guys were looking for someone who loved them for them and not superficial means.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. In the world we live in over here, things can be so difficult. I mean, not difficult in comparison to, but the way that our society runs now, you have to have where both people are working. I
Mhm.
also think it's a little bit of a setup, but
It seems that way.
again, to
seems
break down the
tactical.
family dynamic, break down the way that women are acting, the way that men are acting, like it's just, and this is why I love that you're putting together that women's group or even this community too, because um hopefully it will bring at least a piece of this society back where people still want that. They want the traditional values. If not traditional values, at least they're going to be kinder to each other, especially the women. Like women have to do such a better job at being there for each other and really owning that piece of it and better to our men. Like women are not doing well and we've talked about that many many times, but in comparison, I used to think that men were the big issue. Like, I didn't know one good man, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, all the men are awful. Now I see it completely different, and it's because you have some really great men in the group. I'm like, "Wait a second. There's actually guys like this out there? These people exist." It is very different. Now I see it where there are some really great women out there, don't get me wrong, but the majority of what we see and what is happening in the world is being destroyed by the women. Women have to stand up and start doing a better job at becoming better wives, at becoming better partners, at just being kinder in general. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Danielle, real talk. I'm just putting it out there for like the women who want to have the conversation for what they think is going on with women. I haven't had any women on the show for the Battlefield of the Mind who have really represented that well. Now, if you feel like you have a better way to explain or represent the ladies, I would be honored to have any women who can really represent the ideas that you're saying articulately or explain it in a way that I don't want anybody to look bad. I really don't. But a lot of ladies who get on who go, that's me, they haven't really planned out how it works. They just emotionally vomit out opinions and judgments, and then when people listen, they're like, she didn't really represent herself very well. Um, I would love to have some women who can like, I can really explain that. I can explain it in a way that makes more sense, or share the other side why the justifications and the blame and the shame and the judgment is a logical response to something. Um, I would love to hear a way that like here's why women are doing it, and this is the thing that we're seeing as a whole. And I would like that. I really would. I'm not red pill. I'm trying to go like, how do we save these families?
Yeah, it's the unity between men and women, and there's such a divide. We talked about this last week, but what I see is there's such a divide in race and just everything. And now it's hitting men and women are now divided. And that's the last thing that we need to be doing because if, as women, we cannot make it on our own. I'm just going to tell you that. We can't do it without our men, and our men need to be strong men. And we need our warrior type guys. We do. We need our guys to stand up and fight for us because we are not capable as much as you think we are. We can't save ourselves. We can't. We do need strong men behind us to do it and to help us and be by our side. So again, it's a very interesting world that we're living in with this divide of now men and women happening that it has to come together. Otherwise, our society just continues to crumble.
Yeah. Well, we got date night coming
We
up here,
do.
so we got to bounce soon. So we're going out to a very nice restaurant tonight with some friends, and so this will be
Yeah.
a good night. But I am going to do a call for a few things. February is starting tomorrow. We're putting together the next men's group. We actually do the transformation. If you got guys in your life who are sick of bullshit, this isn't counseling and therapy, and we just praise your feelings. I want the men who are like, I need to step myself up for myself to be a good father, a good husband, a good brother, a good son, whatever. I need to be the best me I can be. And you need a system or a place where men who are alphas all build each other up. Come and see if you've got what it takes to be one of my warriors. I am warning you, what I do is very, very difficult. So, not the faint of heart. If you're one of those people who want a support group to go, rah, rah, you're awesome, you'll fucking hate what I do. I am going to rebuild you authentically to be the warrior leader and pack leader who is honorable, just, noble, loyal, good, strong, confident. You will find you
Handsome.
when you work. Yeah, you become more handsome, your beard grows faster. Like, come and be one of our warriors and book a call. It's a really important part of it is we want to see what do you need, how can we support you, and how can we give you a fighting chance to not have to learn everything on your own. I have a lot of my warriors in here, and if you want to see what is this about for real, I challenge you to challenge your gurus, see if we're bullshit, see if we're legit. Book a call. Let's have a conversation. If you guys want to have more interaction, and I'm actually considering going live and having you guys jump on, I will do it on our YouTube channel. So for those of you on our TikTok, go to our YouTube, follow, and subscribe there. If you jump on our YouTube channel, I will consider having people jump on live on YouTube. So that way we can just go ahead and have a common Discord, record it, and be able to put it up in our Patreon. If you want to see the cool shit, go to our Patreon. There's a lot of stuff in here we do not post except for just our people who are like, man, I didn't even know you guys did that. That's where our cool stuff is. And we have some too hot for TV things in
Yeah,
there
it's good.
for some podcasts that were just too badass to post, and you might like it. So check out our YouTube. We are pushing everything that direction for our badass stuff. So we'd love to support you. We want to help some of these guys. We need at least one more group going this month. And so reach out, see if you're ready to join the Warriors Way mindset. It is way cooler than I can even describe at just the end of this video. So you know the buttons, like, subscribe, click all the things, check out the stuff. We'll see you guys next Wednesday when we are live and go
from Vegas next week.
We are going to be in Vegas, so we will be live. I think we'll just only have, we'll only have TikTok that week because we'll just be in Vegas. All right, we'll be live on TikTok next week. But then when we're back, it'll be YouTube it'll be big YouTube push. So we'll see you guys next week in Vegas again.
Yeah. Good to see you, Laura, too.
Yeah. And then after that, we're going to be doing more and more very cool things. We have a lot of stuff in the works right now to help pull people out of hell. So get involved, click some buttons, do some things, hang out more. And we got it's going to be pretty awesome. Together, we're always stronger. In which case, enjoy your night. We're going to date night. You ready, babe?
Let's go.
Let's do the thing.
Let's do it.
Good night, everybody. All right, let's shut her down.
Good job.